interlude, and we're gonna bring you a very exciting show with my guest, baby. I'm excited. You know what I'm talking about? And well, let me be quiet for a second. Here we go. I'm back at it. Sorry for the echo, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. I have some guests. Y'all know who it is. When it's time for me to talk some real ish, it's time to get the real people to do that for me and help me out. You know, talking about Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kind. Look, the music in the background has been brought to you by none other than King OJ. OJ Sexton. If y'all need somebody to hook y'all up with some tracks that won't allow you to get copywritten, then that is the man. You know what I'm talking about? OJ Sexton, King OJ. We're going to talk about a very important issue that is dear to my heart. And I definitely want to focus on this as well as other things to probably bring some clarity to what's going on and whatnot. And as I mentioned, this channel definitely was founded on blindness and things of nature, but sometimes I try to veer away a little bit so that we can educate your mind, stimulate your mind, which is what the premises is all about, and what have you. So with that being said, we're going to talk about an issue that a lot of young people, as well as some people, you know, who may be still confused about what it's all about. Talking white, or either using slang and things like that in general. So before I go any further, please, thank you for subscribing to Third Eye Visions. Thank you for subscribing to Third Eye Visions. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna introduce my guest. Once I get everything straight, I'm gonna introduce my guest. First of all, I have Ed Davis. What's up, Ed?
What up?
I'm gonna do that again. What's up, Ed?
What's going on, Abby?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All the way from California. Okay, Ed. We're gonna kick back and we're gonna have some fun tonight because we're in a good mood. And I also have my girl all the way from Alita's Humble Life. It's gonna be a little delay, y'all. We got to get the computers and everything in sync. But what's up, Alita?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on, everybody?
Okay, all the way from Florida, United States. Um, Ed, before I move on to what we need to talk about, tell everybody briefly in about 13 seconds, 15 seconds, what you got going on.
Oh, my goodness, man. 13 seconds ain't enough. But anyway, I got a walk a mile going on. I'm trying to create some awareness for the blind folk. I got some cash prizes. We'll get some links posted in Facebook. If you're with Anthony, you with me. I'm there, Ed Davis, where you can get you up to $500 just for making a video.
Okay, and Alita, what you got going on your channel, Alita's Humble Life?
Well, we do the same thing. We just try to interview, we try to educate, we try to help people get information all the time. So, you know, we trying to help our community.
Okay, well, cool. Now, what we're gonna do, we have a round table discussion, and I'm gonna send a shout out to my man who couldn't be here, Rod Clemens. I'm gonna say his name 4 times. Rod Clemens. Y'all better know who he is. I'm telling you, he is a singer, he is a producer, a blind producer. He was supposed to be on the show tonight, but unfortunately, technology wouldn't allow that to happen. But with that being said, we have two very astute individuals who's going to help me out with this discussion. Have you ever heard anybody say you sound white, or you talking white, or something to that effect? I'm gonna let Alita answer that one first because I got a surprise when it comes to Ed Davis. So have you ever heard that anybody say that, Alita?
No, not really. Not really. I've never heard that before.
Okay. Well, I thought you was gonna hit me with the whammy, like, yeah, I heard that. What about you, Ed? Have you ever anybody say man, you sound like you white or you talk white. Have you heard anybody say that before?
I mean, in my years of 63 years old, yeah, I've heard it. You know what I'm saying?
And what have you? What has been your conclusion? What have you felt? What tell the people because I'm gonna let everybody know right off the rip, blind people, this is a white man. So with that being said, when people have come to you and said that, say not you, but just in general, that person sounds like they speak white. What have you concluded when they said that?
Well, no one has ever told me that.
Right.
But I have heard you say I'm black. For most people, I mean, I get that from the black community. Now, from the white community, I get you're from down south somewhere.
Okay. Now, Alita, welcome guests. We want to welcome my guests to the show. I appreciate it. I hope you hit the like button, hit the thumbs up because we're gonna have some fun with this thing tonight. Alita, if you were to close your eyes and hear Ed talk, would you have known his ethnicity?
No, I wouldn't have at all.
Really?
Actually, we went through that when I talked to him.
Okay.
When I first talked to him, I did not know, his race. I had no idea. I thought that he was a African American man, black man, whatever you want to call it, so-called. So my voice, no, I didn't know what color he was.
Okay. Can you expound more on why you felt that he was a black man, African American?
I mean, his tone. I guess the baritone. I guess not just the way he talked. It's just the way he sounds. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like the way he sounds, the way he. Not his slang per se. It can't be. It's not the slang. It's just if you talk to him, he just sounds like he a brother. His voice sounds like a brother. So I don't know how to explain it. I just did not know he was a white man. It didn't sound like it.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna come back to Alita because I appreciate the honesty. And what have you ever gotten a lot of people come to you and say, well, you don't sound like you are a white person? Have you ever had people say that to you?
I mean, again, when I am approached, it depends on who's approaching me. Okay? I mean, what I've been approached by from, black community, they sound white.
Okay, we're gonna hold on. We're gonna get you to repeat that because you definitely sound like you're muffled. So,
my voice.
Hold on, wait. Yeah, this technology is a beast, and I think because a lot of people are using computers these days, that's the problem. So, Ed, are you with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still with you. I'm just trying to get that buffering. Yeah.
Let me know.
Okay, while he's getting his situation straight, hold on. Alita, I'm talking to you. I've heard a lot of people say about speaking white. Why do you think that people use the fact that if you speak with great diction, you speak proper, if you pronounce your words correctly, you are sounding white?
I think it's a standard. People try to make it a standard out of a standard. I think if you talk proper or you talk a certain way, forming your words correctly, I think people say then that's the proper way, that's the right way. That people that are right, and I think that and so on so many levels is. So it could be different things. You know what I mean? And if you talk black, you're supposed to be like yeah men and having slang words and your diction is incorrect or intelligent. And I think that goes with a lot of the standards that people hold on black and white. And so to me, it's true black and white issue or a thing.
Great
Say
point.
that a person talks white, he's proper and he can do that. Yeah, sorry.
Great point. Ed, you with us?
I certainly am.
Okay, now what were you saying? That's a great point, Elita. What were you saying, Ed?
Well, I mean, like I said, when people from the community, the black community, come to me, I get it from them. Now, like I said, from the white community, I get that you sound like you're from down south. And I think in the white community, they don't realize it, but they associate a black accent with a southern accent.
Okay. Well, just the thing of it is, all of my life, I've always been hearing that if you speak properly, if you use your tone right, if you speak with great diction, your cadence, you sound white. I'm really not of the person who believe that doing all these things make you sound white, or if you do not do those particular things makes you sound black. I feel that no matter who you are, no matter the person, if you pride yourself in how you speak, there shouldn't be a color that should be attached to it. What do you think, Alita?
Exactly. I absolutely agree with you. Because I hear people sometimes and they say, oh, I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to talk white when I do this or I do that or do an interview, or if you go into a certain type of store, so if you are in front of certain people, you feel like you have to change your diction. And I've never been a type of person where if I go somewhere that I have to change the way I talk or the way I come across or the way that I am. I'm always me. You know what I mean? I think that my personality and the way that I carry myself is what holds me. And in culture, in any area, I don't try to not be who I am because I am who I am. And
Great
I'm proud of that.
Great point.
So
what's your point on that, Ed?
I totally agree. I mean, bottom line, the way you talk should not, like it shouldn't have a race thing attached to it. But as Alita commented earlier, it also is supposed to be, a sign of being proper. It's a sign of being well educated, and there's a lot of other stigma to go with that.
That's a good point. Let me say this: that a lot of young people and a lot of people even before then have developed in their minds that speaking with great diction, speaking with proper being proper, speaking with a certain tone is considered to be white, and it may have had something to do with way beyond the years in which we've lived, even before then, because Black people do speak with Ebonics. Black people do speak broken English at times, and there are Black people who speak with proper English, whatever pronounced, whatever American English. And pardon me if I'm not an individual who really knows about the English language. I mean, at some point I'll bring somebody on. But the thing of it is, I have a son who speaks with his ERs. He speaks properly, but I would never consider him as speaking white. Let me say that I'm not prejudiced or anything. I just hate the fact that when people do that, because there are languages for everyone. I mean, but to enunciate and to speak proper does not accentuate the fact that you are speaking white, or you are, if you don't and you speak with slang, you're speaking black, and that really kind of bothers me a great deal. Ed, I'm gonna let you comment on it, because it's in the fact that as a white man, your cadence, your delivery, the way you come across. If someone was to listen to you, you have the cadence and the delivery and the tone of someone who is of a black man. But that's not how you actually. When I first talked with you, that's not how you had come across. So I was like shocked because of the fact that I didn't know that you were a person of a different color. But the thing of it is, I learned and I will continue to learn. But the thing of it is, you do have the cadence of a black person. Now, with that being said, tell the people that this was nothing, if it is whatever, this was nothing that you tried to practice. It just comes from who you hang out with, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's the way I grew up. I mean, quick story. My mama married a black man when I was 7 years old.
Expound more on it in terms of, letting people know that it could be the fact that where you come from has a great deal to do with it.
I'm a product of my environment.
Right.
I mean, I grew up, like I said, I went to school. I grew up in a black neighborhood. All my friends and stuff with that, their families were from down south. I mean, it wasn't until later on that I figured out that, because I've had this conversation all my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's always interested. I mean, some of my dearest friends, I became friends with them because they would have their back and they would hear a black guy talking and they would turn around and look and they would see a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on, who is this cat? You know what I'm saying?
And I like. Well, I'm gonna let Aletha comment on it right quick. Aletha, you have something to say about on that before I comment?
Oh, so both of y'all know I love y'all to pieces. I really do. Y'all know that. So I'm saying that before I respond. I'm just saying. But that phrase that does something to me. The phrase of I'm a product of my environment. I know that you grew up in the hood. I know you grew up around African Americans or whatever the case. I just think that my husband has a daughter, and when you grow up, let me put it this way. Sister-in-law, they're very small, but they grew up here. She's from Jamaica. Her accent has all of her kids have the same accent, and that's because they hear that. It's not about being a product of your environment, but if you grew up in the hood or you grew up around black people, what you heard and who was talking around you, that's how you picked it up. That's how you were able to grab that. It doesn't mean about the product of the environment. You're a product of your environment. That doesn't mean. That's me anyway. I think that's just the way you heard people around you. Your stepdad, you was raised by this man, and you picked up his cadence, or you picked up how he spoke. And when you teach a baby or you talk around a child, they end up developing the speech of the parent because that's the only way they know how to talk. So that's the only thing I wanted to say about that, is that's how, because people can read into I'm a product of my environment. That says so many different things. And so if we say Uncle Ed he grew up in the hood or he hung around black people, but because he hung around them, he did this, that to the third in his prime or in his younger days. It was because he hung around them, because that's what he knew, and that's what that culture does. So a product of I just don't like that. I hate that saying. I'm sorry.
Okay, Ed, you want to rebut?
I stand corrected. I mean, and then here again, that's just something that, thing I've said through my life. I mean, when you really start digging into it, we in them times right now. I mean, yeah, it goes both ways. Okay. I mean, because where the racist babies come from, they come from racist parents.
Okay. Well, let me say this then. I love Aletha, and I'm not making disclaimers, and I like what she said, and she stands 10 toes down in what she thinks. Right. But as a person who let's say I have two. I know two people. Okay, my cousin is a European woman, right? and her mother, of course. But they grew up around black people. That's all they knew. So that's a product of their environment. I grew up around black people. That's a product of my environment. Ed grew up around black people. That's a product of his environment. So what I'm saying is this, that you will take on whatever environment you are in. So so when people say that, that's exactly true to them. They're saying that that's a product of their environment. So you can't really exclude that fact. And I'm not trying to make your statement one of an argumentative one. We can even go as further as say Eminem. I don't know how he grew up. According in Detroit, he grew up on a street called 5 Mile or whatever.
Well, 8 Mile.
8 Mile, whatever the case might be. But the thing of it was around a lot of white black people. If you listen to him as a blind person, you would not know that this, because of his addiction, because of his cadence, his delivery, his however whatever he puts across, you would not know that. You probably think that, well, okay, this individual sounds black. But the thing of it, I'm trying to get people to understand this as a young person, you can't just already come out and say, well, okay, I want to sound whitewashed. I want to sound like I'm black, so I'm going to try to do my best to identify with white people, or if you're white, I'm trying to do my best to identify with black people so that I can sound like that person. To me, if you grow up around these people, you're going to pick up on their slang, or you're going to the way of speaking and things like that. Go ahead. I see you want to talk. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm not trying to cut you off. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was just saying, like, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but when we say we're a product of our environment, I don't think that has anything to do with speech, because your mother and your household speak proper, and you could learn how to speak proper, and you could go out and do things that you never were taught. You never, even if you was in the hood, and you can get a child in a household that was raised horribly, and that kid could grow up and be amazing. Could be, you know what I mean? So I just that diction, us, the way we speak, I don't think that that's a product of our environment. I think that the situation we're talking about, I think that it's taught, like it is taught that way. Because like I said, if you learn a different language, like my sister-in-law's kids, they learned Jamaican talk like they taught patois, because that's weird. And they could get around me. Do you think that their speech would change? Yes, because if they never go back around the culture, or not saying never go back around, but if they're around me, because of what they hear, they may form this, they may be able to speak the way I do without the accent, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I get what you're saying. I understand what you were saying. I just, yeah.
It does.
Well, I think we all know people. I think we all know people that have, their parents didn't allow, that as they say, street talk or whatever in the house, and then when we get out in the street, we relax a little bit more, and we get our street, whatever going on, So, I mean, it is learned. It's learned by the people you're around, as the people you're with, I mean, how strict your parents are at home. The problem is, why do I have to talk a certain way to fit in society?
Ed, stop.
I get it.
That's what I if I were there, I'd give you a hug. I would give him a hug, because that is a great point, because of what I have been hearing over the years and the months and things like that. That, say that again, Ed.
Why do I have to talk a certain way to fit in society?
I love that, and that goes across with all races. That goes across black, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. It's like this, and I've mentioned to a lot of people. I had gone to school at Louisiana State University, and I hung around with people of European descent, Hispanics, all that. But when I came back here to where I live, people tease me by the way I talk, but it didn't bother me. But when I went there, I didn't want to go to LSU and say, well, look, I'm gonna try to speak with this person or like this. It just happens, and I understand, and it kind of solidifies Alita's thing what she said, but think of this: I still remain who I was. I did not try to say, well, hey, I like the way Hispanics speak. I'm going to try to develop their tone, their diction, their way of talking. Hey, I like the way white people speak. So I'm trying to develop. No, I still spoke, with the way that I spoke. It's just that people who haven't heard me, they were the ones who felt that, and those are the ones who we are trying to educate and make them understand that because you speak with properness, or if that's the word, because you speak with proper tone, that does not equate you for saying that, hey, I'm speaking white, or I don't have to speak a certain way. And I like what Ed had said, that why do I have to really confine to a certain race in order to be accepted and things like that. Most young people, Ed, and Alita, they do feel that they have to fit in. They have to speak a certain way. Go ahead, Alita.
I think it's the strong ignorance of our society, and we have been taught and trained, and we have been brainwashed and whitewashed into believing that certain diction or certain ways of speaking is in ignorance. So we don't know what we're saying, or have certain degrees of intelligence or education because we speak a certain way. So, do I change the walk for other people? No. But can I? Absolutely. If I need to, I could switch a button in a second and be very proper and have no issue with being able to adapt in my environment at all. I can do that. I very well can. Can my diction change? Can I use proper vernacular? Absolutely, I can. But will I do that to conform to other people? Absolutely not. So I stay in the way I am because I am who I am. And my culture, it means my life. It means the world to me. And so I just believe that I believe the strong ignorance of society and difference is what puts us in that box. So I agree wholeheartedly with what Ed said.
Go ahead, Ed. Oh, I love this. Go ahead.
I mean, if we're going to dig into it, Anthony, that's the systemicness of it. I mean, you have to fit into a certain box in order to excel. We don't want you over if you sound like this. We don't want you over if you look like this. They start putting people in these little boxes. And
okay, with that being said, and I'm gonna pose that question to you, Alita. Ed, what do you say to people who do that? What do you say to people who, because you are a white person, and you know what the title is? What do you say to people who try to put you in a box, who try to close you up and what have you? What do you say to people who do that?
Well, I mean, you don't know me. You can't judge me. My father's my judge. Okay? I mean, I don't hide what I do. I don't hide the way I act. My father is my judge. I cannot hide from him. So why should I hide from you?
Okay. Alita?
That's where I live my life.
I was about to the job at a department store. This was years ago. I think I was about maybe 21 years old. And I've always been who I am. And I've always been being an a so-called African Black woman, right? So I've always been proud. But I've had people tell me or ask me, even in an interview, oh, you have tattoos. Can you change? Wear your hair a certain way? Could you not, your presence is awesome. Your personality is wonderful. But is there a way that you may be able to, can you speak in front of people? Like if you're still on that, or you me and how I come across and you don't like who I am, I would rather not be working for your company. I would rather not be a presenter of your company to be out in front of people and I have to change the way I am. So that in itself, I just can't. It makes me feel as though I don't like being Black. And so that's not the case. And to bow down or feel as though I have to be a certain way for other people, other cultures, other races, I can't do that. I'm sorry. And I'm going, Yeah, yeah.
That's great. Great. Ed, you want to say something to that?
I mean, no, I totally agree. I mean, nobody should have to conform to somebody else's opinion of what they think we should be
That's right.
to fit in anything. I mean, whether it be a job or a society or whatever. I mean, we are all individuals. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
mean,
right.
that's the freedom of it.
And this is coming from a white man, you all, who's letting you know that first of all, those people who have heard that speaking as a white person to speak with the diction, the whatever you preclude that speaking as a white person is. Let me tell you something. There are various forms and ways that people can actually speak. So by that same token, you would not know. Don't. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, don't get it twisted to think that if you hear somebody who sounds like they're black, who sounds like white, that could, as a blind person, you can be misconstrued and know that if you thought that this person was of a one race, it could be of another race. So, with that being said, don't try to conform. Just be yourself. Don't
Be
think.
yourself.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Be yourself. I mean, a quick story. I mean, like I said, it's been happening to me all my life. But there's a lady that belongs to an organization I'm in. She's a high-ranking official. She's been knowing me now for 3-4 years. Personally, we've been in the same room on many occasions. She just found out 2 weeks ago that I'm white.
And that's simply because people go on the way you sound, this, that, and the third. Now, we can expound further on that, but I just wanted to touch the surface on this because there were some things, some issues, some things that had come across my table that I wanted to, try to address and get people to understand, especially for our young young white people, young black people, to understand. I'm gonna get you in a second, to understand that and I like what Alita said, don't try to conform to what they feel or you feel that is acceptable. Just be yourself. Go ahead, Alita.
No, I feel agree. I agree because at the end of the day, if you are teaching your kids that this is what they have to do in order to make it, if you are teaching anyone, your kids, if your kids grow up teaching their kids and their kids, so that is still the systemic line that is going to continue forever because we feel as though we have to tell them, our children, other kids, people teaching their children, that they have to speak like that in order to get out when that is not the truth. I'm done, and I was just agreeing with you. I won't cut you.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna continue this anytime that we can go on Ed's channel, we can go on Alita's channel and continue this discussion. But I just want to share some light on this to let everybody know about the fact that is there such thing as speaking white. So I'm gonna allow you all a couple of minutes to expound on what the title in terms of is there such thing as speaking white, and we're gonna conclude this and continue this on other days and what have you. So I'm gonna let Alita, you go first in terms of is there such thing as speaking white?
No, it's not. To me, it's not. I mean, I know that in the beginning when you asked me, when I heard his voice, that he's black or white, I didn't know that he was a white man. Absolutely, I didn't. But we know tones. I'm gonna say that we know
Great
tones,
point.
and the
Great
tone
point.
is what threw me off. Right? We know tones. When we hear tones from colors, like if you on with a Chinese person, you know that's a Chinese person, or you figure that's a Chinese person. If you on the phone with a Dutch person, you figure the tone in his voice or her voice is a Dutch person. So by the tone in his voice, that's why I thought that he was a so-called black man or a so-called African American. So yeah, I just feel like it's not, and I think that we should not say that. I think that it puts us all in a box, no matter what color you are. So yeah.
Okay, Ed.
I mean, I agree. I mean, you know, you can't judge it by its cover. You know, I mean,
hold on. We're gonna pause for a second while he get his feedback, because we definitely want to get him going. But like I said, we definitely want to touch on the fact that you know, me personally, I don't think there's no such thing as speaking white. There's no such thing as speaking black. The thing of it is, just speak how you feel, but don't try to like Alita says, don't try to conform to a particular race. Ed, are you with me?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, well, give him a little more time. Don't try to conform to any particular race, because then you become a person who's not really true to who you are. So don't ever think that if I speak with great addiction, if I speak properly, if I pronounce my words correctly, things of that nature, then I am white. If I speak with slang, if I, you know, yo baby, then I'm considered to be black. No, just be who you are, and that will carry you on further in life, as opposed to trying to fit. Because people are gonna know. People are going to know that you're trying to, you know, you're trying to fit in. And that's not the case. The realness will always rise to the top. Ed, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Let me see. He's still breaking up. One more time, we'll come back to him. Alita, you straight with yours? You had any more things you want to say?
No, that's it. And I really enjoyed this. I really did.
Okay. Well, while Ed's getting his feet straight, tell everybody where they can find you at and things of that nature. Give everybody a big plug.
All right. Alita's Humble Life on YouTube, Alita Donaldson on Facebook, and Alita _Donaldson on Instagram. Y'all come through, man. My Instagram be all right, and my YouTube, I be doing the same thing, man. Just trying to educate people, help people in any capacity. Blind community, sighted community. I just try to give out information. So yeah, come on through, subscribe.
Okay. All right. Definitely, y'all support my girl, man. For real talk, man. Let me tell you something. I would not deal with people who are not real with me. And I ain't gonna go no further and say that. Ed, you straight? You ready? You might have to move around, because I'm not leaving until I get his point of view. So you have to move around. Okay.
Any better now?
Nah.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
Got me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I agree. You should not try to conform to anybody else. I mean, don't let society tell that you have to be a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to look a certain way, you have to sound a certain way. Because the longer you continue to conform to what they want out of us, the longer this systemicness is going to continue to grow. All
right. And you can't get no better than that. And with that being said, y'all hold tight after I play the music, man, and we're gonna make it happen. Thanks. Y'all go support Ed. Ed, where they can find you at, baby?
Right now, Facebook, Ed Davis. I mean, of course, like I said, you finna see me all over Facebook in the next couple of weeks. So
okay, that's what I'm saying, man. People, we blowing up. They blowing up. People that I deal with are blowing up. Y'all got to stay with that movement. I'm telling you, I think it's a game. I'm telling you. I want to
come on this $500. That's what you better do.
Oh Lord, I need that $500. Oh, my girl. My girl needs it so she can, stay and do some things with it. But I want to thank you all for supporting Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kinds. Y'all gonna know this thing before it's over with, man. And just take it. This is nothing we're not jumping on no race, none of that. We're just trying to open your mind. We're trying to, free your mind, and your ass will follow. As George Clinton would say, baby. You know what I'm talking about? So I want to thank these individuals for coming on the show, man. I love these guys. I know they're always with me at the drop of a dime. Say, I need y'all. Y'all come through. Y'all need to come support. Also support Pamela Coon, Naturally Beauty, Naturally You, Boss Lady Denise, George Pearson. It's like a lot of more people that I've come in contact with, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all got it. Just whatever. I'm about to hit this music thing, this outro. If y'all need some music, hit up King OJ. music that's not copywritten, y'all. He gonna hook y'all up and whatnot. So y'all got anything else y'all want to say before y'all get up off here?
All
Make
right.
sure y'all subscribe to Third Vision.
And make sure y'all subscribe. Look, I love these people, man. This is my brother from another mother, my sister from another mister, man. And I'm out. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
I want to thank y'all, man. Support, man. I really appreciate the support from Alita's Humble Life. Yeah, and my man Ed Davis, man. I hope y'all got something out of it. I love y'all. Continue to support, and I'm out.